afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Around the Game Wednesday, 3 p.m. Today I'm here with two fine gentlemen. I'm going to let you guys kindly introduce yourself.
I'm called musajjakawa.
And I'm Kasengejero.
So, you guys work with Zanya Africa Foundation.
Yes.
Please tell us about the foundation.
Zanya Africa Foundation is a foundation, a non-governmental foundation, which is aiming at empowering women, children, and youths through sports. That is, we're using sports to empower the community and children and women.
Okay. Please, I want you to kindly introduce yourselves. Like, what do you guys do specifically in the company?
We are simply the technical directors because it's really a big challenge to many organizations looking for coaches to do the exact work you really want. So that is why they chose us. We're there to simply look out for coaches who can handle the kids, because a coach, they cannot just come up and then start talking to kids, taking on kids. It's not really easy. And then the women, you know how women be. They're so picky and all that. So our main job there is to really look out for those particular coaches who can really take on that job and then give us good results at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what sports do you guys deal in specifically?
Sports we deal in specifically. We deal with many disciplines of sport. For example, we have fun games. We have soccer. We have basketball. We have kids athletics. We have athletics. To mention but a few, but we all it's a package.
Okay.
Yes.
So, why sports in particular?
We took on sports simply because we really saw sports can get together so many people of different understandings, different tribes, different everything. But sports, there is a way it brings together everyone. So that's why we did choose sports.
To add on him on that, what he said, we studied sports science, so we were given knowledge. We understand sports very well and how far sport can change the community, the world, and everything. So we are using sports exactly because it's something we understand well.
Okay, so you talked about life skills. To the layman outside there, when you say we deal with life skills, people will not really understand what you mean. So I wish you would elaborate.
Life skills, these are like the day-to-day skills you need to associate with the community, the communication, how you relate with different people. Those are things we want to really instill in people we're going to be working with, because we've really seen what is really disturbing Uganda of late. We take sports as something simple, just take it for fun, but out there people are really earning a lot from sports, and now it's just because of these simple life skills. They easily relate, they know what a professional does, they know what to do when, what we are lacking here, and all that comes in with the life skills, your timekeeping, your communication, how you relate with different people. So that is why we really came up with this, and that is what life skills is all about.
Yes, in details, these skills, because as you know, the skills we get through sports, they are transparent. You understand? These skills of understanding, being confident, self-expression. Because if you have those skills, you can take them to another sector. You use them there as well. You understand?
Yeah.
For example, we have people who are like a team captain. The team captain is the person who leads them, and that group, when he's leading them, he's getting what we call leadership skills. Those leadership skills, that guy can transfer them in another setting of environment. So we think sports can do more and beyond.
Okay, the truth is that sports usually goes hand in hand with education. So for the kids outside there, I'm sure they're watching you guys and they're thinking to themselves, how would you help them in terms of education?
Thank you for that question. As Of course, we're not doing this to concentrate only on sport. Of course, sport will go with education, but some people are not able to access education. But we want to use sport to help them access what? Education. For example, if you get this, we go to the slum areas, we get kids who have talent, we identify them. After identifying them, we groom them. In the process of grooming them, we can go ahead and partner with schools and ask them to help us to give these kids support in a way that maybe if we can't, because our organization is just starting, we don't know, we are still pushing on, so let's worry. But with time, we think we shall be able, maybe we say a school says, we are giving you a partial scholarship, then you can top up. So that this kid can get education, but still through sport. You understand? Sport is the thing leading that person to school. And then eventually, with time, he gets the education he wants and he prospers in life.
Okay. So, to personally, I basically think you guys are like scouts. And for when people hear such talk, they're like, no, no, these people are affiliated to maybe some organization outside there, or they want to eat our money. You know how the layman usually talks about it. So, are you affiliated to any organizations or something? Because it's a foundation.
For starters, we are going to partner with many organizations and we are calling upon them to come and join us. Our main emphasis is to help these kids, help the youth to help the women as well. So, if you get people who can join hands with us, we shall be very grateful. We're not looking up to money, but we are looking at changing out the environment. But changing the environment still moves with money. So if we get partners who can partner with us, we can take this initiative to a level which will be appreciated later in life.
Okay. So you talked about empowerment, and you talked about the youth, the kids outside there. But when you talk about sports, to the guys it is okay. They have no problem participating in the sports. Now to the girls it is a challenge. Convincing girls to begin thinking about sports in a way of changing their lives is really, really hard. How do you deal with the girls?
The girls, we have, like we said, we are the technical team. So we are looking out for coaches, and some of them are already there. So when we bring up a lady coach to handle fellow women, that is already a point showing that if she can become that, then that means even you can simply become that. So first and foremost, we are looking up to lady coaches handling uh, the women and all that, because more so if it is men handling women, again they'll be like, no, I think it's not our thing. But if it's fellow women handling that very sport, I think in that way we will have good results, because women tend to understand each other very well. And then what we do when we identify a group, a given group, we sit and then look out for those big challenges that are really hindering them from participating into the sports, because women just have a few, they're just simple issues they tend to raise that really prevent them from participating into sports. But the more you handle those issues, the more you talk to them about those challenges, they tend to open up, and then you easily relate and the game goes on.
Yeah, definitely, as you say. The more, because we not only use sport to have fun, but still we get time after some activities, we talk to them. So through those talks we hold with them, we explain to them everything concerning about their health, their life, why they shouldn't be fearing men, some things like that, so that they get streamlined in a line that they could understand and have the confidence to expose themselves in the best way possible.
Okay, so are there any female coaches in particular you've come across?
Yes. Now, like we started with badminton, we already have a coach. She's taking on a few of them at the moment.
Even in basketball,
we have
so many coaches.
Yeah.
Actually, this group is not only for guys.
Yeah.
When look at the top guys here in the foundation, they are ladies. They are ladies.
Yeah. But we work with a group
of men.
Yeah,
Many
which
coaches,
they are
group of men.
coaches, ladies and men.
Okay, so dealing with kids and the youth outside there, you definitely have to get in touch with the parents. And in this kind of setting in Africa, it's really hard to convince a parent to encourage their kid to major in sports. How do you deal with the parents?
Right now, we are lucky that things have changed a little bit. That back then it was very hard. People looked at sport like contact sport, especially let me say football. They look at injuries. People are going to get injuries. We don't have like facilities to cater for the injuries. But things have changed. Things have changed. Parents are now very able to see that there is a change. They see people are earning out of sport. They see people are excelling. They watch Olympic games and they see for people like shining. For example, if you look at a person like Kiprop, that guy is now holding medals for the country. So such things have opened the parents what eyes. They can see that sport is something. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. So we are lucky that sometimes when you approach a parent will be like, I want my kid to be like this. I want my kid to be like this. So they're giving us green lights. Green lights to go ahead and what? And coach their kids. Because of some achievement which were achieved by other people by using sport. So it's not a very big challenge. However much I can't take it off that it's not there. So those ones which are there, they're on a small margin. We try to explain to them and giving them examples. And we try to explain them that even when a kid gets an injury, now facilities are available. People are worked on and they play football again or they go back to running. And perhaps, even though you don't do sports, you can still get injured. You understand? So we are doing a good job on that. Parents are giving us their kids.
Yeah, in addition to what he said, back then, parents would look at sports as a thing for failures. But now, we have intellectuals who are sportsmen. We have doctors in sports. So, with all those examples at the moment, I think parents are now really responding well to our call.
Okay, if I'm to ask, you've talked about how you would convince parents, and I heard you talk about injuries. Like, if my kid gets injured, this is the plan. Do you guys have a plan in particular
For
for like the kids who you bring along and they get injured?
yeah, we are looking at when we are sitting in our meetings, starting up everything about Zanya Foundation, we had a framework. You understand? So that framework also has what we call risks. How will you manage such risks if they happen? You understand? Are we going to do a share? Are we going to share with the parent? Or is it going? Are we going to avoid it? Or are we going to maybe to take it all? And we say, yeah, it's meant to be. Let us handle it. So if we see that a child is not fit to play, in most cases, we try not to involve that child.
Okay, so when you get a sportsman outside there, you take them through medical checkup first.
It's a prerequisite.
Because I mean, you may get a child who has a heart problem, so 2 years down the road, they tell you this after investing a lot in them.
It's a prerequisite, as I said, that we are supposed to get to know the medical background of those kids.
Okay.
It's very important because however much we are going to play any sport, we have to know exactly what is your background, like medical background. Have you ever had a problem with the heart? Have you ever been injured? You get those are the things we go through before we get you enrolled or involved. If you have a problem, you find a way which will not affect you when you're doing sport. We take precaution in that. Yes.
Okay. Like we said, we have a team of really trained coaches. So in case of injuries, okay, in sport you cannot avoid the injuries. That is out. We cannot rule that out. But we go through simple, basic first aid training. So in case it happens, we can at least respond to that immediately. But if it is fatal, we again we're trying to look out for ways in which we can always handle those fatal injuries that will come up. That's why we have come up, and then we are looking for partners and sponsors in order to help us when it comes to such issues that we can really not handle, that are really that huge. So in that way, if we get any partners, if there are partners out there who are really willing to come in and help us in such issues, they're welcome.
Okay, so not in a sense of bragging, but what are those achievements you guys think have come up with thus far?
Oh,
Like any
we
sportsmen you guys have so far gotten, you're like, that is us.
Oh, okay, thank you. This year, let me take you back a little bit. This organization started 2018, and serious work activities commenced prior the end of 2019. So what we have done so far, we have clubs in schools, the Zanya Africa Foundation clubs. These clubs have leaders, so that we go there when they are playing sports. After playing sports, we talk to them, give them information how to carry themselves in life, how to handle life, how everything. So that's an achievement. We have clubs. We are having also community-based clubs, different ones for school. Now these ones are community-based for youths who had no chance maybe to go to school. You understand, who had no chance to go to school. We get them, we use sports, they have fun. Then after we pass on skills. For example, like we have a team, we have a pattern at JB Caring Heart. We pass on those skills of like tailoring, like carpentry, so that they can earn something out of life. But after as they work, yes.
Okay.
So that's an achievement as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how do you deal with the schools? The traditional kind of school settings we have here, it's only about education. Sports given very little time. I don't know, you guys through experience. I know when you're in school, class ends by 5, then supper time begins like at 6. So there's 1 hour for sports. So as an organization, I know when you approach schools, it must be a challenge. How do you deal with it, the school?
Now, when it comes to that, we cannot change the curriculum, which is already there, but at least we use the appropriated time for sports. We try and make good use of that time, and we're really hoping with time, if we can get uh, any 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 help, because we are looking out for partners we're going to partner with, and then we are going to forward a petition, at least increase a little more time for sports and physical education. Because if we get more time, as in physical education or sports, at least that way we shall have at least a little more time to spend with kids, and try to really do more with them. Yeah.
Yes, and to add on his point, you see, Ministry of Education, it's a mandate for a school to uh, have time for physical education in general, that is sport. And you see that in some time, there is a term, schools have terms, they say this term is for sport. But what we want to change is that this term is for sport. We want sport to be moving. Each term, it's there, it's there,
Yeah.
it's there, it's there,
Make
it's
it
there.
fun all through.
Because sport is in general, in research shows that sport can help someone to perform better in class. For example, when someone is stressed, he goes and do some fun games. Those fun games are going to help him to burn out that stress. He goes back to his normal state. After that, the performance in class will be okay, like it will change. You understand? So we want people to keep sports hand in hand with education because it has so many benefits, health wise, uh,
Academic wise.
academic wise, psychological wise, everything. Sport has it.
Tuition
Bulk,
wise.
everything. Thank you. So we want that thing, that mentality of saying this term is for sport. We want at least everything to move with sport as well. We're not saying that other things are not relevant. They are, but sometimes they supersede sport. Yet sport is also very important, and we want everything at least to be to have equity in such when they are breaking down the time for activities. Yes.
So, what are some of the challenges you guys have faced so
The challenges. One, as I said, we are just beginning. We're 2 years old almost. We have a challenge of equipment. We have schools where we want to go. We find people with vulnerability who have some impairments, and it's hard to get equipment to involve those kids. So it becomes a bit hard. The kid might show the desire to go ahead and do sports. The desire is there. You see kid wants, but exactly what are you going to do with them if you don't have the equipment? So that thing beats our understanding. It makes us go ahead and scratch our heads bad style. But we know that those equipment are there. The equipment are there, but they are very expensive. As I said, if you get partners and maybe with time, you should be able to have them so that we involve. You don't want to skip we don't want to skip the aspect of inclusion. We don't want to leave anyone behind. We want everyone to get involved. So we have the problem of equipment, maybe even resources in terms of finance as well. It's also a bit of challenging. It's a bit challenging. We're just keeping on as we are starting, but maybe with time, we are very hopeful that with time we shall bring the best out of everything. Maybe it has some more challenges.
Maybe the other thing is the community itself. At times it's a challenge because however much we're trying to really show how sports is really vital and how sports has changed so many things, but again, the way people still perceive this sports thing is they take it for fun. Even our government just takes it for fun because you see the fund allocation, and also we still have a mix up of sports and education. So all that, it's really a big challenge uh, from the community to us, because if at least the community can open up this with the help of so many people, the government itself and partners, funders, and all that, at least maybe if you go to the community and then you have that warm welcome, at least, yeah, could be really fun for us. Impressive.
Okay, so you talked about helping students and you're working with schools, like you pick those talented kids and help them further. But of course, third world country, there are a lot of underprivileged kids.
Yes.
So sometimes it's going to be hard, like for them to access you because they're not in the schools. So do you guys have that idea of maybe coming up with competitions that are open to everyone outside there, so that they can come participate, then you can identify them?
For that, I think we have the plan. We're looking at the less privileged people, as we said earlier on. We're not only in schools. Sorry, we didn't say that. We're not only in schools, but we are also in communities. So, for example, we have that community of the slum area. We are using it a lot for now as our case studies. We want to get everything from there that is going to give us the experience so that we expand beyond Uganda. Yeah. So we are looking at this is our endeavor now is our case study. So we have started from because of the reasons anyone can understand that we're just beginning, have no funds to access things, but we want to go to those communities, even maybe Karamoja, anywhere, so that we get involve all those kids who are not able to access sport at a particular point, and they have access at any time they want. We are looking at that.
Yeah, and in addition, you talked about the competitions and all that. As time goes on, those plans are there in the future. If we can have sport Africa, Zanya Africa in different regions, we shall try to bring them together, and then that way, at least everyone will at least get a chance to meet, and then we can at least get to know whatever is happening in those different areas. So those are some of the future plans we have.
Okay, so still again about the underprivileged kids. If you give me, personally, I think if you talk about sports only, they may not seem interested. Apart from the sports, do you guys like give them something else? Maybe do you guys get donations from different people in terms of clothing, shoes, and you help these kids?
There's a campaign running, which is called Squad the Meal campaign. Uh, Looking at the current situation, you know what has been happening for the past 4 months. Uh, Everything has been under the lockdown and all that, and so we looked up to some of us. Okay, in any way you can look at for at least where to pick a penny or two, but there's some people who can't easily access anything. So with this Square the Meal campaign, it is outside sports, but again, we try to look out for any clothing, any food, anything that we can get, and then we take to those communities out there.
In addition to that, as score the male campaign, we are doing it mostly in Endeavour, as I said, because that's the area where we had identified some kids, number of kids who are already in our program. We are trying to nurture and develop their talent, giving them skills. So when the lockdown came, we had to go there after the lockdown, because remember we are not able to what to move. But immediately after they allowed cars, we went to what's their progress. Remember, no exercise, no converging. Now what we asked their problem was that they didn't have what to put back to the mouth. You understand? So we came up with this idea of score a meal campaign. So we are doing this to help those kids. So like 2 weeks ago, our team was there. So they looked up for some families. They took for them edibles. They gave them some money to sustain them in this period. That's a follow up. I'm trying to show you that we can't leave those kids who have already started enrolling in our program. And still, we are calling upon people who can come in through to support the meal campaign. We have numbers where you can send in your donation. I will trust us. We shall deliver to the kids. Can I please go ahead and
Yes.
Okay? So we have contacts like 0786 797963. I repeat, 786 797963. The second one for our rate is 0701 27 98 16. Let me repeat it, please. 0701 27 98 63. So when you send your donation, God will bless you, and we shall also deliver and do our role so that we can support those kids. Thank you. Yes.
So, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 to 10 years? I know you have a vision or a goal or something.
Where we see ourselves, honestly, we see ourselves there in a very, very big stage. We are looking at bringing out superstars who can stand there and they say, from here I came through Zanya Africa Foundation. We see a different community having different perspective about sport. You understand? So we see developed communities as well, because these kids, after empowering them, they're going to do things that are going to generate money and do things that develop in society. So we are looking at that. If you're going to have more, we are going to have more superstars in the league, like Ugandan league, because we want, as we go ahead to nurture these kids, we want to pass them over to maybe bigger academies, bigger, let me say, clubs in Uganda, so that they can go ahead and play their games of their choice. So we're looking at so many things. Those are the things we're looking at. We want to be proud of people who are going to be superstars, and they say, yeah, pass the road to the Zanya Africa Foundation. Maybe you can add on other things.
Yeah, like I said, we are looking at creating a more bigger picture of Zanya and then also sports in general. We want to change. We want to change so many things when it comes to sports, the way people perceive sports. That's what we are looking forward to. We want to get the community at least embracing sports much more better than it is today. Yeah, that's what we're looking at with time. Yeah.
So, let's not doubt the fact that we're living in a very dangerous time. You hinted about it just a little, the COVID era,
Yeah.
and you guys deal mostly with sportsmen.
Yeah.
How would you advise the sportsmen to keep safe? Some people do not believe Corona is really there, and the urge to play this soccer like sportsmen, they feel really bad. They're sometimes breaking the government guidelines. So I wish you would look into the camera and advise the sportsmen outside there.
For that, let me first make it a point, guys, to understand that Corona is real. The virus is real. It has killed so many people abroad. We're just lucky that in Uganda we haven't yet received any case, and we pray that we won't receive any case. But however, sports lovers are so much addicted to sport. They want to play. It's an addiction. It's an addiction when you are a sports lover. But however, we have to be patient. I want us all to be patient in a way that we can do some things in our houses, like where we are in a small space. Let us adopt to these games which we can do maybe in a small space. If you are, for example, a basketball, you get that ball you have in your house, put their cones, you dribble through the cones. Keep that, keep that. That thing is going to help you to improve on your dribbling skills and other things and confidence as well. But don't go out to contract that virus. Please let us stay safe. Let us stay home.
Yeah, guys, sportsmen out there, we love sport, we miss sport, but the virus is real, it's happening. So, guys, we need you alive, we need you safe. So, please, let's stay home, let's follow the guidelines. Good enough. Uh, they are now at least easing the lockdown. So, guys, let's simply take it easy. We have a lot we can do with the ball. We have a lot we can do with just that small space we have. At least let's make that use of that small space. Keep our bodies in shape. Because tomorrow we are needed to keep this running. Thank you.
Yeah, so before I let you find gentlemen go, I want you to inspire the sportsmen. Tell them the importance of sports, where they will get. I know you've been talking about it here, but at least final remarks, I wish you would do that to the viewers outside there.
As sportsmen, when I'm talking about sport or speaking about it, I even smile because it has so many opportunities. We should embrace sport a lot because sports can take us places. Many people have stepped on the plane because of sport. Many people have gone to school because of sports talent. So let us embrace sport. We should know that we have to work hard, however much we have talent, because talent without hard work, you won't succeed. Another thing, sportsmen, I want us to have more discipline, because sports with discipline, you can achieve you can achieve the best in life. You can achieve the best in life because I've seen so many people achieving through sports. I won't go outside of the country, but I will stay within the country. I'll give you an example of a player I've seen. At least that one I've seen him several times, several years. Who plays soccer? A guy called Ande Mwesigwa, who was the captain for Uganda. That guy has been disciplined. He has made money out of sport. Now is having a school out of sport. He has invested. So guys, just know that sport pays off. Just that you need to hang in there. Hang in there. Don't quit. Work hard. Be focused. Be disciplined. You will achieve the best in sport.
Oh, yeah. To the sportsmen out there, to the young ones who are not yet there are so many idols you're looking at, so many out there that you really want to be. But first and foremost, the discipline, like he has put across, the discipline is really important. And if we need to benefit from these sports we are doing, we need to start acting professional, we ourselves. Okay? Uh, just an example. They can't say the training starts at 5 and you are stepping in at 5 sharp. No, that's not how we do things. If the training is starting at 5, at least come in a bit early. Come in about 4:30. Prepare yourself such that at 5 we are starting off. Okay? So it is the only way we are going to earn from these sports we are doing. We have to start acting professional. If we start acting professional, people out there will start having a different viewing of what we do. But if we keep acting the way we do, we keep running our life, we keep running our lives the way we are running them, we shall not achieve it. Gentlemen out there, sportsmen out there, let's act professional if we are to earn from our sports.
Okay, lastly, if someone wants to get in touch with you, maybe through social media, what would they do? Instagram, Facebook,
All
Twitter?
right. Africa Foundation. That's on Facebook. Zanya Africa Foundation. That's on Instagram. Still Zanya African Foundation on Twitter. Kindly please follow us on Twitter. Like our page on Instagram. Like our page on Instagram as well. We are there. We are waiting for you guys.
To find